I'm sure you've been asked this a billion and one times, but I have to ask it. Everybody and their mother has their idea of what your character should or should not be.
Yes.
How did you deal with that, if you even dealt with it, and what was the process?
It was interesting. I've never really had to play a character like this before that is so steeped in literature and that people are so familiar with. I mean, I played Huckleberry Finn once, but there isn't quite the fan base for that. Not so many people kind of anxiously awaiting, your performance. Yeah, it's something I really felt before we started. Once I got to New Zealand and we started working on the character, and I was starting to really get a feel for it, it was something that I was considering. But once we started filming, I felt like I found the character, and it just became very comfortable. I got very used to it. And now at this point, I feel like I've done the best job that I can do, and there's no going back, so hopefully people will appreciate it. I've definitely, taken into consideration the seriousness that the fans, their approach is quite serious. And I think our approach was very serious in terms of wanting to stay as true to the books as possible.
Now, besides the books, I should even ask, did you use I would assume you used the book and the script and Peter Jackson as the source of who is this character. But
absolutely. There were multiple.
But outside of that,
yeah.
Who were maybe some other performances or actors or things that maybe you based some of the performance? I think that would be kind of interesting for people who aren't really necessarily into the Lord of the Rings. Maybe who did you use as a basis for this character, if anybody?
I don't think I used anyone really. There's a simplicity to a certain degree of Frodo initially. He's very curious and hopeful and positive and pure of heart initially. I think the challenge really came for me when Frodo, basically building that element of Frodo up and then destroying that over a period of time. That's where the real challenge lied, and I didn't really base it on anything in particular or anyone. It was pretty much trying to grasp things from the book.
Now, as an actor, was your process in did you look at it as one big movie, or you were making, 3 separate films? The enormity of the project you went under and lead, and kind of holding, especially this film, right on your shoulders. What was for you? How did you?
Well, I think all of us really looked at it as one massive story. It was certainly easier to look at it like that. If it had been like, the perspective of, okay, film 1, film 2, it would get really confusing. I think it was easier to look at it as one story, and we're at this point in the journey, and so on and so forth.
If you had to pick what I call the master image, one image from this film that would say, this is what the Lord of the Rings represents to me. You may have been in the shot or you may not have, but if you had to pull just one image, what would that image be?
Man, that's a good question. I think there's a very iconic image that I think represents more the first movie or the Fellowship of the Rings, or of the Ring, more than the actual entirety of the story. There's a shot in Rivendell when the Fellowship is actually initially formed, and you see all the hobbits standing in front of the men and the elf and the dwarf. And that shot for me was just incredible when I first saw it. It's like, that is the reality. There it is. There are the hobbits that are that small, and they're the rest of the Fellowship, and it's just a beautiful image. And I think that for me is the kind of...
That's the moment.
That's the icon, really.
Cool.
Certainly for the first one.
Thank you. I wish we had more time.
Oh, thanks
a lot, man.